Hello, welcome to the Steam Release Podcast. I am your host, Dewey Bear, here for the final episode of 2021 in this lovely holiday season. So, and joining me today, as always, is the ever-jolly Rody Pie.
Oh, Dewey, have you been a good boy?
Oh no, I messed up the camera.
No, he hasn't been a good boy.
No, I haven't.
No, that's a definite no.
I'm quite in trouble now. Oh, I think that's part of my camera overlapping. No, there we go.
No.
Yes, I have failed. Just a few little adjustments. You know, we're just a rubber band and bubblegum operation here. All right.
Don't forget the super glue and duct tape.
Super glue and duct tape. Yes, it fixes everything. And joining us for once again, Happy Kitty. We'd love to have you. Very happy to have you on this special episode where not only will we have a release list, but we're going to be talking about what our most anticipated games of 2022. So yeah, I'm quite excited to share. Although, like, not a major spoiler, but a little spoiler. I'm looking at the list I made. It's like, oh god, this is very predictable. So,
to be fair, I got a few predictables on my side as well, if you know me. So
yeah,
I think that would be everybody. So
Yeah, definitely. Mine's probably very predictable. That you probably hear them and go, yeah.
Oh, what's the common thread in all of these games? Anyhow, before we get to that, first, I guess, Happy Kitty, you ready to share what you've been playing this week? And I need to do that page.
Of course, it's the same that I've been playing for the last couple of months. Of course, we're talking about Final Fantasy XIV. I finished the story. I finished the after story with the last couple of dungeons. I've been leveling up a couple of classes. I'm currently working on Reaper, and I'm probably going to pick up a tank next to play. And we got the new patch that releases on Tuesday, so that's going to be a lot of fun. I've already got a couple of people, and we're going in day one to do those dungeons blind, or rather the raids.
Nice.
And Goddess Reeves asking, did you get your pizza emote?
No, I don't use Grubhub. I have kind of been burnt multiple times with delivery service apps, so we've kind of stepped back, and honestly, I wasn't a big fan of that emote anyway. I got my Apple, I'm good.
You got your Apple. Alrighty. Well, also, it seems that Final Fantasy XIV, did they get up to rated M? Because it had an age verification before I went into it. Maybe they were naughty with Endwalker, and then the ratings board's like, this is a rated M game, guys.
I didn't see anything overly naughty. I mean...
Alrighty. Well, Rudy, what about you?
Finished the MSQ on Final Fantasy XIV. Finished it on was it yesterday? Was it yesterday morning, something like that? I just needed to do the last dungeon, and my friend helped me with that. So it was the last trial. So yeah, got it done. Enjoyed the story. There's certain bits of it I thought it was a bit slow, and there's certain bits I think could have been a little better. Certain areas that could have been a bit better. But overall, like, really enjoyable experience. I'm glad I played it, and then I've just got to do the after story dungeons, and also I checked to see where everybody was, because they're saying they were going to all these different places afterwards, and you can actually go and check to see where they are. They are actually in those places, and they'll tell you what they've been up to. So that's a nice little Easter egg you can do. And I also played some indie games. I played Moncage, or Moncage. I don't know how you pronounce it. The puzzle, the sort of like twisting puzzle thing that you have to like these like little vignettes that you have to like sort of try and get two pictures together to make something else, or to activate an animation or something, and it will go on to another scene. It's challenging. It's a lot more challenging than I thought it was going to be. And sometimes frustratingly so. And it's like, sometimes it's like I wouldn't have noticed this little thing, like, and there's like a nice like hint system as well. There's like sometimes it will give you like 3 sort of like hints. It's like, oh, this little bit here, it's like maybe you need to have a look here, or and so, you know, it can that's nice. It can give you like enough hints so you can try and like do things yourself before you get utterly stuck, because it is sometimes it's just like, I really don't know what you want me to do here. But it's really pretty, the music's quite nice. And then I had a quick I booted up Adriatic Pizza, ADRIATIC. I got really frustrated with this, because although it gives you like there's a tutorial right at the beginning, like of what you have to do. You basically have to make a pizza for your mother, because because now that you're home, she says, you know what, you can run the restaurant instead, but I need to see that you can make a decent pizza first. So the first task is for you to make that pizza. And it's just like, okay, you need to get the water from this thing. And there are a lot of spelling mistakes, and there's a lot of references to things that I don't know that's the proper name for it, or it's like, I've never heard of that. And it's like, oh, you need to like put the flour and the water together, and now you now have to mix it with your hands. And it's like, I was clicking on it. It's like, how do you want me to mix it with my hands? This is so frustrating. And then it's like, now you need to grab this, and now you need from here, and it's like, what thing, what, because it's like such a bizarre color palette. It's like you don't know exactly what they're talking about, because there will just be shapes, and there will be a couple of shapes that they reference. So it's like, oh yeah, you need to get the box that is next to the cooker, and it's like, which one? Because you can interact with 2 things there, and it's just like, oh my god. So yeah, I had enough. I couldn't deal with it. I'll probably look at a walkthrough or something, so I can get to it, play it through it properly. But so far, it's just like, it's not very intuitive. It's frustrating, and it's such a shame, because it seems like there's like a nice little storyline going through it. But yeah, not happy with it so far. And I did boot up Mysteries of Ranko Tagawa, Mystery on the Marine Express. And I do really like the music in it. Really like the music, quite like the animation. Although I have just started it. And it's definitely one that I will play on a stream. It definitely gives me those vibes of like 90s Japanese detective games. They're just it's quite funny. It's so far there's like some funny dialogue going on. Yeah, and I can't wait to get really stuck into that game. So yeah, definitely want to play on the stream, just because there's like, you know, it's not like masses and masses of like big text to read, but you know, there's going to be quite a lot to read through, obviously, because of the type of game it is. Yeah. So yeah, to encourage me to get through it, I definitely need to read it out on stream. So yeah. But what about you, dude? What have you been playing?
Well, besides, of course, I'll get to the Final Fantasy, but besides that, I have been playing more Loop Hero, and this game, it just goes deeper. There's elephants all the way down. Like it keeps going. I keep finding new things and uncovering new steps of the of the lore, but I think I'm finally at a point where it's like, okay, I think I've solved the puzzles. I think I just need to grind now. So, because there's some resources I have to get to build some buildings that are going to unlock more stuff to do mysteries with. And yeah, I feel very justified having picked this one as my game of the year. Yeah, Justin loves it too. Yay. I'm glad you like it too. Think you got it, Phil? Yeah, you can. The nice thing is that it is, of course, a session-based game, so you can play it, and it's very easy to play it, and then like, okay, I'm done, I'm leaving. So it is nice that it's designed that way, but oof, there's so much to discover in this game. But I do really want to get finally that end, the story at the end, and but we shall see how long it takes. I'll probably be playing this for a while, but with all the holiday hubbub and hullabaloo and ruckus, whatever you want us to call it, I've really only played this, and of course Final Fantasy XIV, which I have to agree with you, Brody. I think particularly early on, it kind of had a bit of that ARR kind of pacing feel to it. And then, of course, everyone knows, not going to spoil, but there's a Moogle quest part. Where you're like, oh God, just get me past this. Like, please, please just let me get further. Just let me progress. Oh God, stop. Although, I will say, these Moogles I don't hate as much as Moogles. still end the Moogles, but these ones, okay, you're super annoying, but you ended up redeeming yourself. Redeeming yourselves. But yeah.
At least they're useful.
Yeah, they're useful Moogles basically. But yeah, so that was my experience. I cried for like 4 hours straight for the final portion. It was just emotionally exhausting. And of course they just exactly know, it's like, oh, start playing that song. You know that song. This is the crying song. We're playing it, so now you're going to start crying because not only is this moment really sad, but it's reminding you of all the previous sad moments, and you're like, let's just stop it. Let's just twist that knife and kick you while you're down while you're at it. But thankfully, my abusive relationship with Final Fantasy XIV has come to a conclusion, at least until the next patch. So. Them feels. Yes, exactly.
Them feels, yes.
Them feels. But yeah, so that was my week of gaming. I really wanted to, because I got some new 2021 games that I wanted to play, but unfortunately they're all like long RPGs. And I was just like, I can't just jump in and play it for a few hours because that's not going to be a fair kick. I gotta sit down and play it for a good solid session. But yeah, that was what we played this week. So onwards to this week's hidden gems, which there were quite a few. Starting off strong with Monday, December 13th, Shovel Knight Pocket Edition.
Delve with Shovel Knight into the depths of the Pocket Dungeon in an action-packed puzzle adventure mashup like none other.
This is so cute.
So this is like the mobile version of Shovel Knight, but also now ported onto PC.
Well, sort of. It's an entire kind of different game mode where it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like Tetris, but with some other mechanics going on. But yeah, it's fully adapted to, I think it is available on mobiles, but it is fully adapted to PC, and it's got a very positive review so far. It's just kind of neat that this franchise just keeps going, even though they pretty much concluded the Shovel Knight series proper. So, but it's...
So, I definitely got, and I don't know if you guys played this back in the day, but I got a Dr. Robotnik's Lean Mean Bean Machine vibe off of this.
Oh yeah?
I think Rhodey knows what I'm talking about.
I just love the names.
It was a wonderful game. I love it. It's one of the. It's kind of on the level of a Tetris, but you're up against an opponent, and it's so much more than Tetris. It's a really, really cute game. It was for the Sega Genesis. If you've got the Genesis port on Steam, it's free on there. I highly suggest you check it out. It is hilarious. You go up against the Dr. Robotnik's monsters. Anyway, that reminded me. This reminded me of that. With a bit of what's that? The artistry reminded me of the music beat one.
Necrodancer.
Curse of the Necrodancer.
Necrodancer.
Yeah. The art style reminded me a bit of that.
Thanks, Justin. Yes, I'm from the evil universe. I swapped out like a few months ago, but
you would only tell us that if there was no way to get the original back.
It does look pretty sweet. As far as I know, there aren't any microtransactions in this game. I think it's a full game. That said, There's at least one review where they're like, "Oh, I found all the upgrades. I was able to get it fully upgraded in like 2 hours." All the upgrades, and it's like, okay, but I'm just not sure because it is a roguelite. I'm not sure if that's kind of the end of gameplay because that person had 2 hours, but I'm seeing still like 6 up to 17 hours. I think this one is probably a safe one to say get it on sale because $20 feels a little pricey for an arcade game.
For what it is, definitely.
Yeah. And it probably has some sort of randomization, so it might also have a multiple playthrough.
Yep.
Saying that, it is standing at 89% positive with 103 user reviews. As you said, it is quite expensive. It is $17.99.
Thanks, Justin.
Justin.
All right, Tuesday.
There is a Justin special. There is a soundtrack you can buy for like £7.19.
Yep, $9.99. Alrighty, on to Tuesday, December 14th. One hand clapping.
One Hand Clapping is a vocal 2D platformer. Solve puzzles by singing or humming into your microphone and find confidence in the power of your voice as it changes the world around you.
I really love the concept of this game. It's intriguing. I've never really seen anything done like this before, and I'm happy about it because a lot of people, myself included, do not like the sound of their own voice, and this helps give them confidence in how they sound, and it might help with those who have issues with public speaking because they get used to the sound of their own voice and they become comfortable with it. And having a positive reinforcement for it would be really, really nice. So this game looks awesome.
I do like the fact they're using voice, your voice who's singing in a game, because usually when it's just like vocal stuff, it's usually just like song games, like karaoke games, or I think there was one. Well, there's like all voice command games, and that's it really. There's never anything that's like really combining the two, especially with like a platformer. So I'm curious though. It's like, do you still need to be? How difficult is the platforming? I'm curious about that.
Yeah, I think it's described as casual, so I imagine most of the platform's going to be pretty simple, and a lot of it is just building the bridges that you have to cross. But I think it is clever because this is really old technology, the technology for detecting tone and notes in your voice, etc. Really old tech, and it's just kind of sitting there waiting as a control method to, like, Nintendo did this a lot, I think, with particularly the handheld controllers. There's all sort of wacky ways of controlling things on the Nintendo DS that most developers didn't use, but this is pretty clever. Yeah, and it's just, a cool way to learn vocal control. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah, and Justin says very whimsical art style. Definitely has that.
It does remind me. I'm trying to think of that song. Like, what is it? What is that game that you dislike? The Ever song? No,
Wander Song.
Except Wander Song didn't involve like color wheels. It didn't involve actually.
Exactly, but you have to use the tone as well as the colors sort of thing. Well, the colors like change the tone of it, but we weren't using a mic.
Yeah. I feel like that game would have really been interesting with a mic.
Oh, definitely. I think so. Oh, hello, G. Thanks for dropping by.
The whole gang's here. Hello. But yeah, so that's One Hand Clapping. It's developed by Bad Dream Games, and it is $14.99 USD.
Yeah, it is £12.49. As you said, it's 82% positive with 241 user reviews.
Yeah, it looks like the early access reviews were 82% positive, but post full launch, it's 92% positive. That's good to see.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
All right, on to Wednesday, December 15th, The Abnormal Place.
The Abnormal Place is a game about Abigail, a young woman who has lost her voice and has found herself in a strange resort and hotel inhabited by monsters. Abigail must recover her voice and navigate through the hostile world, or she'll be forever trapped. So we're going from, like, using your voice to someone that's lost their voice.
Yeah, and someone clearly likes Coraline. This is so creepy looking. Yeah, very Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always forget that guy's name, but it's like I see something. It's like, oh, it's like that guy, Tim something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I get a very Coraline, Nightmare Before Christmas vibe pull from this. That being said, it's interesting that you'll be playing as a mute character, looking for a voice and interacting with these monsters without said voice. So I'm interested to see what kind of gameplay is actually involved and how you interact with these characters if you don't have your voice to use. So that should be interesting.
Yeah.
It's like a 3D platformer, and I first when I was looking at it, or looking at the screenshots, I thought it was more like a point and click game. But
this has some 3D platforming, and it looks like there's of course the spikes and all that. So, but
it's like quite barren. It looks the backgrounds and everything, the maps. It doesn't. I don't know. I wish it was a bit more something going on. Something like had something with a pop of color, just slightly, just to make it interesting looking.
Yeah,
a bit more interesting.
This is developed by Berserker Interactive. Unfortunately, it has no user reviews, but I think part of it, has Berserker Interactive done anything else? No. So here's the thing. For those new devs out there who has your first game on Steam, if you don't have a reputation on Steam, it's kind of difficult to get people to buy your game for $25. Yeah, that's a hard sell as an unknown developer. Like Behemoth. The Behemoth can put out games for $30, and even if they're only 10 hours long, everyone knows that they're getting a Behemoth game. So, but, you know, if you're new, maybe go for the indie price of 15 or 10. just. Yeah.
And if you don't want to do that, send out some demos. Get a hold of people who are streaming. You know, give out some demos, maybe give a couple of free keys. Get your reviews and impressions that way. Get your name out that way. That way, when you stick a large price tag on your first game such as this, you've got a little bit of a backing and maybe some feedback as to whether or not that price is worth it.
Yeah, I think £19.49, it's like, what? That's crazy. And yeah, I would expect to pay half that at least, or at least like $7.99, $9.99. You know, that's, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep. So just for developers who want to post on Steam and don't want to kind of be left in the situation that this game has, at least so far, just make sure that you price it for your status on the platform. All right.
Well, it's definitely more to do, like, when we look at a lot of games on Steam, it's like, what's your competition? What is everyone else charging? Like market prices, people. Come on.
Okay, so on to an interesting titled game, A Distant Stabbing.
A game designed to upset you. Master balancing your arrows to see how high you can climb. Ideal for alt-tabbing gaming while you wait for your next match to start. Or while you're waiting in the queue in Final Fantasy.
So, Bennett Body, anybody?
Yep. Another one of these.
Yeah.
That being said, it brings some interesting mechanics. You've got a bounce mechanic, a fall mechanic from the looks of it. It does look aggravating, but it also looks like it could also be fun. It doesn't look like it has any of the narrative that Bennett Body does. I don't know about you, but listening to some of that audio when others are playing it, it seems to irritate the player even more. But yeah, no, this definitely looks like a game that you want to do in short bursts, maybe while you're waiting on a queue or for a match to start or something like that. I could see this game being potentially fun if you don't let it get you too salty.
I love these reviews. These are great. This game made me cry more than the intro to The Last of Us Part 1. 10 out of 10 would rage again. I played 6 minutes of this game and uninstalled it. I will now spend the next 6 months reinstalling it, getting frustrated in it, uninstalling it, repeat. Makes me want to receive a distant stabbing. 10 out of 10. So it was funny you brought that up, but yeah, in the About This Game section, the top thing is like, are you stuck in queue?
Yeah.
I see we have men of culture making this game, AndyK. So, or lady, Andy might be a lady too. So,
it's quite nice looking. I like it's like kind of that sort of cardboard art. Some of it looks like that. It looks quite nice, and it's very, very reasonably priced. It's only £5.79. So yeah, I think it's reasonable price, nice art, great concept.
Yep, solo developer.
Yeah.
Oh, and as a solo developer, the UI doesn't look half bad. So that's something commonly I see is that, because a solo dev, you have to wear all the hats, and the hat that I see normally fail is UI. But the UI actually it's subtle, it's nice, it seems to fit. All right. On to Bumballon.
Bumballon. Join the cute Bumballon on this frantic journey into a colourful world full of dangers, should say. Fast, fun, and with an ability to control your super speed. Collect all the magic emeralds to complete each level and discover new mechanics throughout the adventure.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I kind of got a Celeste meets Super Mario World out of this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So this one seems there's there's a lot of each level seems to have its own kind of favored mechanic. Yeah. Because you've got the ones where you're basically going can, which does seem to be used a lot. And there's also the one where you're like trying to control this fishbowl as you're like, no, I need to go there. I don't know what those are called, like a top-down space navigation or something. But yeah, it does seem to be mostly about like getting from one end to the other by going to different arrows, different cannons. So it's not a classical platformer in that way, but it does seem really, really like well made. The pixel art is adorable.
Very colorful.
Yeah, very colorful. This dev really likes the colors.
Yeah. Beautiful animated graphics, explore 7 worlds with that taste of retro gaming and nostalgia, fun and challenging achievements, 35 different levels and charismatic enemies, 5 unlockable skins for the most powerful dual explorers, several mechanics. And it's 40% off right now till the 22nd of December. And it's £1.25, and it's standing at 100% positive with 12 user reviews.
$1.79 to $99 USD. This is another solo dev project by Angelo Gamedev. At least from what I could find, Angelo Gamedev is probably a solo dev, but perhaps they had contracted someone to do music or some pixel assets. But the developer, it's a single dev. And yeah, it just looks great, and it's priced at a point where it's not quite just a portfolio game, which would be slapped up there for free. Like this is a retail quality game, but it's priced really cheap, and so this new dev can develop a following, and that's how you do it, kids.
Yep.
So he's got his first set of reviews. All right, on to Eraser.
Throw your stick figure self at cannonballs and airplanes in an upwards pursuit of the eraser. Play cooperatively online to share the journey. Who's to say whether the company will help or hinder, though?
This I could see myself not getting very far in this simply because of some of the platforming. That being said, it looks to be a lot of fun, and if you get multiplayer going, and you get somebody who likes to troll with you, there could be a lot of fun to be had with this. Just messing around.
So this is a bullet time 3D platformer. It's been a while since I've seen one of these. This looks actually very fun and at the same time highly frustrating. I like, every now and then I find it really charming. Well, no, I generally do find it charming when a dev is clearly made an artistic choice that he knows that, okay, I can make this look good on the cheap. And that's what seems to have happened here, and it's quite impressive.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't my kind of game. I do appreciate the artwork that they have, even though it's simplistic. They've made it work really well. It's just, oh my god, I would just be so frustrated with this and just no, it's not my. I like relaxing games. I like to relax.
All right, but yeah, and this one's free, developed by Ringating, and but yeah, it's put up for free. I presume as a, let me see. Oh, Eraser was originally made in 10 days for the Ludwig Jam Game Jam.
Interesting.
So this is a Game Jam game.
And it's standing at 89% positive with 87 user reviews.
Yeah. Again, some game jams, especially I feel like it's progressively becoming more and more impressive what they're able to do in these game jams. Of course, as development engines get more accommodating and you can just do more faster, it's really cool to see what jams end up producing. Okay, on to Live Adventure by Rubika, another free game.
Throw yourself on an exciting adventure. Live Adventure is a second-person game where you follow the journey of 2 young explorers, Lance and Real, in search of their parents. Solve the mysteries of a lost civilization while exploring a lush forest littered with mysterious ruins.
Oh, okay, I get it. I get it why it's a second-person game. I was confused, wouldn't this be third person? But it seems that, you're playing as the person who's holding the camera.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I was like, second person? What are we talking about?
Huh? What? I won't pause there. I'll just read the rest of the description.
Okay, and you control both characters actually. So you're both controlling the camera person, and you're also controlling the other person. So you're controlling one character as a second person view, and the other character is your third person. Interesting.
Yeah, definitely. It's very colorful, quite vivid. It seems to have an interesting storyline as well. So I look forward to seeing how this game plays out.
Yeah, and be mindful if you do pick this up. It only you can only play it with the controller. It's not keyboard and mouse isn't supported.
No.
Saying that, it is standing at 93% positive with 16 user reviews, and it is under an hour as well.
Yeah, which I guess makes sense why it's free. This is kind of, I guess, a concept demo, I suppose, then. But really cool looking. Live Adventure by Rubika, developed by the Live Adventure team and Rubika. On to a beautiful Pixar adventure that Rhodey had to show me that I'm surprised I'm shocked I missed this. No turkey. There will be no turkey this Christmas.
Christmas is coming and your goal is to spoil it. After all, you are the turkey. Oh, this is just hilarious stealth game. You're a turkey in a barrel and you just got to avoid people in the home, and you got to escape. You got to find the key and escape. And of course, if it looks like someone is about to turn that torch on you, you got to just be a barrel, hide in a barrel. But yeah, I'm not a stealthy person, so this would definitely not be for me. I did have a look at who developed it, and they did release a game earlier this year. It's the Make the Burger people. That we spoke about. We spoke about when it came out, or we did a catch up of it anyway. But yeah, that came out this year.
This is so cute. It's adorable. It really is, and the characters are really well done. And this is a $2 game. Excuse me. I mean, I understand it's a very short game, but I just the work and stuff. I would be willing to pay $5 for this game. It's short. It's sweet. It's well made, and $2 seems kind of undercutting.
Yeah, because it's there's 30 levels as well, which is fantastic. So yeah, it's £1.35. It's 20% off till the 5th of January. So plenty of time to add it to your to your carts.
This team is also developing a game, Tiny Witch. So this studio is just pumping out the games. They don't have a release date for that, but I'm gonna have to follow this developer because Creative Hand seems to be putting out really attractive games. And I love how it's just like a normal family, and they're just like, "Hey, we gotta get our dinner. Where'd the turkey go?" Oh my word! So that is hilarious. I love it. Okay, on to Thursday, December 16th, Kubifaktorium.
Build, manage, and grow a thriving colony in Kubifaktorium. The game features different biomes to explore, plenty of resources to exploit, complex machinery to build, and interesting production chains to master.
All right. Yeah, so this seems to be in the same. Well, obviously they're kind of making a reference to Factorio, like it's kind of in that same or similar genre. But this has a bit of a kind of medieval theme, maybe kind Victorian.
Of a city builder to it. Something maybe like Civ.
But
definitely not my type of game. I had my husband look over my shoulder at it real quick, and he went, "Huh, neat." So, this sort of game would kind of scratch his itches when it comes to resource management and stuff like that. Me, not so much, but it still looks like a really, really cool game. Kind of a chill game at that.
This is an Adam/Top Gun Bunny game, probably. So I should probably send it his way. But yeah, from what I understand, this is developed solo dev Mirko Seithe, or Seithe. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your European name. So, but yeah, it's really impressive, beautiful aesthetic. It does primarily use solid colors, so there's not much in the way texture, but as you fill up the map with all your machines, I feel like texture might actually be somewhat distracting for kind of this aesthetic. So yeah, it works, and the UI is not half bad either.
I think it's definitely nice colorful elements to it. The UI is quite clear, and it seems very user friendly. It's not my kind of like building sim, but yeah, I definitely can see the appeal of this, and so can quite a few others. This is standing at overall 79% with 378 user reviews, but more recently 85% with 21 user reviews. And it is 10% off right now till the 23rd of November at £13.94.
Yep. As is usual for this genre of games, it's been in early access for a while, which kind of you were able to use the player base to sort of iron out any balance issues and such, and that seems to have paid off. So, Kubifaktorium by Mirko Seithe. All right, on to Karma City Police.
Be the new dispatcher at the Karma City Police Station in this pixel adventure. Talk to the victims to discover their needs and fight in a unique pinball-based battle system as you follow a captivating story with lots of humor and great soundtrack.
Pinball?
Yeah, I said the same thing when I was reading that, and I started watching the trailer, and it's like, oh, that's interesting. You get to beat up the enemies using pinball mechanics. That is cool.
This is how did they just like, oh, you know what? Yeah, let's do a cop game. Great, fantastic. Oh, so it's going to be like a shootout, right? Or some kind, maybe a punch out. It's like, no, pinball.
It's certainly different. It's definitely out of the norm. And for their credit, it looks like a lot of fun. And it looks like something that, it's like people look at it and go, oh, this is just another mystery shooter, with some cute sprites. No, it's not. This is different. And this is going to, if anything, I believe this is going to boost their popularity and take the genre to a new level and elevate it even more. I am excited when people do new stuff like this.
This is a JRPG, pinball, mystery, Papers, Please, sim, resource management, story, novel game.
Oh my god. Everything. This is Karma City Police, Chi.
Yeah, it's by Meca Games, and it looks really, really good. It does.
And not only that, but it's very good price as well. It's currently 25% off till the 5th of January at £6.96. And it's currently standing at 93% positive with 49 user reviews. I'm curious to see how long this is.
Yeah, I'm not certain how long it is. My closest guess is probably 3 hours, just because most of the reviews are from early access, and of course it wasn't a finished game at that point. I wonder if they have any explanation here. No, they really don't. But it's I wouldn't expect it to be a particularly long game. But
which is kind of a benefit for me, really.
Yeah, what a fascinating premise.
Yeah.
What a fascinating premise. This one, the Meca Game Studio is one to watch. This is their first game on Steam, and of course they have the Justin special with having their soundtrack for sale. So, on to oh no, not that one yet. Alfred Hitchcock Vertigo.
Can you trust your own mind? Immerse yourself in a psychological thriller of a new kind, playing with the limits between reality and fantasy, freely inspired by Alfred Hitchcock's universe.
Unfortunately, this is one Alfred Hitchcock movie I haven't seen, but I'm getting real, like, Telltale vibes from this. So, at least that's my guess. It's by Pendulo Studios. Let me see. What have they done?
I played a lot of games by that studio. So they do a lot of point and click games, and
oh, Black Sad. Well, they did that one.
Varying quality, I have to say. But yeah, they definitely have a style, definitely.
I'm a huge fan of Alfred Hitchcock, and Vertigo was one of his good movies. I enjoyed that one a lot. The story was really, really well done, and it kind of goes in depth to the psychology of what is real, what is reality, and what you perceive as the two different. So I'm interested to see how the devs interpreted that work and made it their own, because it looks like they did some research at the very least into what Alfred Hitchcock was trying to achieve with the movie Vertigo.
Yeah, I did see something about, like, maybe the three characters, everyone has a story to tell. Thought that they do take some creative license with some of the story, which is possibly quite a good thing, especially as a video game. I am really wondering, and it looks like it's a good 10 hours long, though, like, at least based on reviews. For those who have finished it, 10 to 12 hours, which is not bad. It is $29.99, but it's fairly well reviewed. It does have, like, DLC up to wazoo. Let me see. Are any of these, like... okay. The DLC is all NA because you get it in the deluxe edition. Oh, what? So you get filters? What? I don't understand this.
That's a head scratcher.
Yeah, so I definitely not sure I would recommend the deluxe edition, but if the regular edition is any good.
So if you want it to watch it, like, in black and white, if you want to see it in black and white, if you want to see it in sort of sepia tone, or if you want to see the green monitoring sort of effect as well. So yeah, there's those kind of filters.
Yeah,
right.
I believe the original Vertigo movie was in black and white, so people who are fans of that, of Alfred Hitchcock's movies and stuff like that, you know, having a sort of filter of nostalgia from when you've seen the movie and stuff might have more of an impact on the story that it's trying to tell. And this is one of those stories where the reader or the watcher, or in this case the player, knows more than the character they are playing. So it's like, you may know what's going on around you, however, the character you are controlling has no idea, so you've got to react in a different way. So
yeah,
it's an interesting.
My favorite Alfred Hitchcock film was Charade. If you haven't seen it, it's very good. It's one of those that's not a horror, but there is a scene where you're like, I didn't know it was a Alfred Hitchcock film. And then there's a particular scene involving matches that I was like, wait a second, this is an Alfred Hitchcock film. There's just a particular scene where something kind of twisted happens, and you're just like, Wait a second. This is an Alfred Hitchcock film.
I got to watch The Birds in high school.
Oh. Yeah. My mom went to theater when she was 5 years old and saw The Birds.
I really like the way this looks, and I'm very curious about this. I think I did hear that it was a pretty good game. I'm curious. I'm curious about this. I might just watch someone else play this though on stream. I'm not sure because it is a hefty price tag, $24.99. But Pendulo studios do tend to price their games at a higher price tag.
All right.
But yeah, I'd probably get this on sale.
Ooh. Okay. So our next title, which is on this list in part because of its name, but also it is a sequel of a game we talked about before. Milk Outside a Bag of Milk, Outside a Bag of Milk.
A sequel to Milk Inside a Bag of Milk. Inside a Bag of Milk. Dive into demented and bizarre world once again and help the girl become a little happier. Can I just say, this is standing out overwhelmingly positive, with 98% positive, with 577 user reviews. Like, what? So this is a third installment.
I haven't heard anything about.
No, it's a second because it's
sequel,
yeah. It's because there's Milk Inside a Bag of Milk, Inside a Bag of Milk, which is also reviewed overwhelmingly positive with 5,000 reviews.
The people who make these games know what people want, and they give it to them. Apparently, it's very bizarre. The colors are psychedelic, to put it in a word.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, I don't know, just watching the trailer and reading, I'm still scratching my head to try to figure out what this game is. And I suppose it might be one of those games where it might be easier to understand if you've played the first game.
We never really could figure out what the first game was either. Just by looking at it.
Okay, so at least I'm not the only one feeling a little lost out here.
Yeah, it's confusing.
All we know is that it's a visual novel with some like kind of scary elements to it, I suppose, like creepy elements, weird elements going on. If you want to pick up the first game, it is only 79p. And this game is £6.19. So yeah, it says about this game. How do you feel? I definitely feel sometimes that's more than enough. Still, you're anxious, aren't you? Of course. Moreover, I'm completely terrified. Was it that obvious? You're looking in every direction, but not up. This. I've already told you, haven't I? About what? Small stuff. Can small stuff make you terrified? It's hard to explain. I climb up the metal railing and let my legs hang down. I sneak short glances at the abyss from time to time. It replies with angry, cold breath. That's how we interact, like old friends. Sometimes I feel like the whole world pretends to be crazy, as if it's trying to make me believe in something that doesn't exist. That's weird, isn't it? So yeah, that's it. That's.
Apparently the game events begin at the same moment the first game ends. So, yeah, and they have
you have to play the first one.
It has an oppressive and viscous soundtrack. I don't like the idea of a viscous soundtrack, but this is from the demented mind of Nikita Kryukov, solo dev. And, I wonder what the third game's going to be called. Milk Beyond a Bag of Milk? Beyond? I don't know. Like outside, inside, on? Yeah, Milk on a Bag of Milk, on a Bag of Milk. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably going to be the next one. Already predicting it.
Similar to these games you've played, Undertale One Shot, this is either a plus or a massive negative.
Yeah. Alrighty. Next up, Brutal Orchestra.
Brutal Orchestra is a turn-based rogue-like strategy game. You died. Someone killed you. You are now in purgatory and you will never escape. Make a deal with the demon Bosch to set off into this bastardous world, finding all manner of demented friends and foes on your quest to get petty revenge.
Yeah. So basically, the plot line is you got killed by some a-hole, but eventually that a-hole's going to die, and then he's going to be just as confused as you were in purgatory, and that's when you're going to strike. This is another. Of course, we lined him up. Another whack-ass game. So yeah. Developed by
at least this one I get.
Yeah, developed by a 2-dev team, Maceo Mair and Nicolas Delgado.
It's a weird sort of mesmerizing game. It's definitely off the wall. So the fact that this whole revenge concept, I wonder if maybe they're. And I see this with a lot of games that promise, revenge for the deeds done to you, and you learn some sort of lesson to let go of said revenge. No, I want the revenge to go through. Give me the a-hole who killed me, and let me have my revenge.
I'm just looking at the artwork of this. It's like it's a bit of a. I don't know, like a mixed bag.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it looks like really well polished, especially like what looks like to be a boss fight, and then the rest of it looks kind of like doodles. It's
so strange.
Yeah, it looks like it's got an interesting fighting mechanic as well.
Yep.
It's definitely on the weird factor, the weird scale.
Yeah, this is a turn-based tactics roguelike game. Yep. So, it's strange.
It's standing at positive at 93%, with 15 user reviews, and it's 10% off right now till the 24th of December at £9.89.
Godless Weeb's like, oh, this is how it's going to end. I murdered 1,000 people to get to you, but I'm critically conscious, so now you're spared. All right. Next up is Aspire. Why isn't it showing up? Aspire, Ina's Tale. It doesn't like colons.
Set out on a mystical adventure of self-discovery against the backdrop of a fantastical landscape of the Tower. Meet its dwellers and unravel their stories, manipulate spirits to solve puzzles, and lead Ina on her path to freedom.
Mm-hmm. What? It's really pretty. I'm getting kind of what's that game? Gris. Like I'm getting kind of Gris vibes from this, actually. I don't want to overhype myself though, because Gris was mesmerizing. So I really enjoyed that game. And this is not the same developer, so I'm not going to try to put that standard on them, but they are catching kind of a similar feel.
Oh, these backgrounds, some of the backgrounds are absolutely beautiful. And yeah, like you say, it's got kind of like that mesmerizing kind of feel to it. And we talk a lot about, there's certain games that the artwork kind of looks flat to it, but they've done it like very well. There's like, you see these sort of like textures in there, and it just makes it pop, and it looks fantastic.
And it looks like as you go around, what you do may interact with the background and change certain things as well. This just looks like an absolutely beautiful game, and and hopefully the storytelling is just as good as the game as the game looks, because there's nothing worse than a pretty game that leaves you feeling empty, like it could have done more, but it chose not to.
Okay, that's one thing that's different here from Gris is there is dialogue. You can act. There is actually text in this game, whereas in Gris there was no dialogue, and they really heavily leaned on the visuals and the cutscenes that, of course, still have no dialogue to tell the story. And hopefully, even with the dialogue, they kind of do a mix of that. Hopefully, they do neat. But this looks really nice. I really like Gris. It was a surprise for me, so this might be on my wish list.
There's currently only 8 user reviews, so it hasn't got a score, and it is 25% off till the 24th of December at £7.71. I'm wondering, like how many, how many levels there are, or.
Yeah, I see such a wide variance. Like, I'm like 3 hours, 28 hours. Like, I think probably 3 hours is what I would expect.
Yeah, someone said short and sweet game with beautiful art style.
Yeah.
So that person's just like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, the 28 hours probably, you probably just left the game running. But yeah. All right, Aspire, Ina's Tale. By Wondernaut Studios. Next up, Skyfleet.
Take to the skies as part of the Skyfleet. Defend sacred floating islands, build strong bases and towers to protect their resources, as well as shoot down waves of rogue drones trying to strip mine them.
All right, this is the first time. This is the first game from Enno Games. They're published by Freedom Games, but it's got a nice kind of. So this is an action RTS, which is of course a genre I'm not really into. I've never been good at RTSs, but it's got. I like the theme where it's these floating islands and towers, and you're just flying around in your little. You're just controlling all your little units to protect them. That's very neat.
It looks cute. It looks. I definitely like the way it looks and everything. I'm just.
It's definitely not my type of.
Yeah, I think I'll say is getting to grips with it. It's not really my thing either. But it's priced quite reasonably. It's 35% off till the 24th of December at £7.40, and it's standing at 84% positive with 13 user reviews.
I do wonder how many maps and sort of like maps and the how many matches there are. It seems that this is. Let me see. This does have online PvP, so there's of course the just online aspect of it. But yeah, I am sort of curious how much content there is.
Yeah, because most of the ones that I've looked at, nearly all of them, they're played under an hour. Unfortunately, so yeah, I'm curious as to if there's actually more content than that.
It's 84% positive, and of course USD it's $9.74 with that 35% off. On to Craftlands Workshoppe.
Let's see. From the out there imagination behind the Shopkeep series comes a brand new fantasy business adventure set in the clouds. Craftlands Workshoppe is hiring, but can you run your store, master 3 noble crafts, and solve the former owner's mysterious disappearance?
So crafting plus a bit of a story.
Yeah, fun resource management with a side of wacky adventures. It's kind of got that soft blockiness to it. It's cute. It's colorful. The storyline seems to be intriguing, but at the same time, it also seems like you can go at your own pace and do what you want. So this game, it seems like the game might have options on how you play it, which is always good, because if you've got ways that different people enjoying different game styles plays, and you can cater to more than one type of player, your game will probably be a bit more successful. I don't know that this is a game that I would play, but this is probably definitely a game I would watch.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I'm very much like those kind of like crafting games, and you're running a shop and everything like that. Like Racketeer, I really love that game. But this, I don't know, something about it just doesn't quite appeal to me. But yeah, it's still like standing at mostly positive, at 73% positive, with 90 user reviews, and most recently 72% with 18 user reviews. And it is 10% off right now till the 24th of December at $14.39.
Yeah, this is another case where it's a genre that it has to have a lot of stuff that's really intriguing for me to check it out. And this one just seems fine. I don't think it's. If I'm going to jump into a crafting game, I'd probably jump into like Atelier before this. But just this looks fine. But I'm just it's not a genre I typically play anyway. All right. I want a shopkeep game as good as Recettear. Yeah, there needs to be like a new Recettear that's just as good. With that, that was our release list this week. But before we go on to Best of the Week and all that, we have a special section this week where we're going to talk about what our most anticipated games of 2022. So is everyone ready for that?
I am, yes.
I think so, yeah.
All right. And of course, chat, let us know what your most anticipated 2022 games are. And of course, I guess we'll guests first. Happy Kitty, let us know what your first most anticipated game, or I guess the fifth place of most anticipated game.
So, fifth place is kind of a big name one, but that's why it's fifth place, not first. I mean, it still promises to be a really great game. Sonic Frontiers. I am a huge fan of Sonic, and the fact that they're actually giving Sonic a new, better made open world, and this promises to be truly open world, has really garnered my interest. The sights are beautiful. I have high hopes for the storytelling and for the character designs. If the character designs look as good as the backgrounds and the environment, I'm going to be severely happy. It is a Sonic game, so there should be some promising universal Sonic mechanics. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to this game, and it's number 5 on my list. I'm a Sonic fan.
Yeah.
Can't be as bad as Sonic 06.
I wouldn't dare the Sonic team with that sort of statement. Don't jinx it. All right, Rhodey, what is your fifth place?
So my fifth place, it's definitely a detective game, of course. Chinatown Detective Agency. So this one I helped kickstart, and it looks beautiful. The story is interesting. You can play the prologue right now if you're curious, and it looks like this is coming out in February, I think. So I'm hoping they're going to stick to that, or hope they release around that time anyway. But yeah, it's like super intriguing, and they said it's going to be a bit like the Carmen San Diego games, so that's always fantastic. They said you have to look things up, like you Google things and to get answers, because you use an encyclopedic knowledge and stuff. So yeah, it's really interesting, and I can't wait for it to come out.
Awesome. All right, my fifth place decision, and Godless Weep saying he knows what my first is. Well, I have to say, Final Fantasy 16 is not on this list. A, because they don't have a release date, so I don't want to tell myself that's coming out in 2022. So
And then disappoint yourself.
exactly. So that's not on this list. But first off is a little game called The Pale Beyond. Well, actually, I don't know if this is particularly little, but it is being developed by a small team, Bellular Studios, which you may also know as a podcast that talks about, like, they talk about World of Warcraft and now Final Fantasy XIV, but they're also developing this game that's this sort of a visual novel that is an Arctic exploration story, and also survival. It's all about keeping your entire ship full of people alive. It's got a beautiful aesthetic, and it's just kind of set. I do like stories set in this kind of like you're in the middle of the wasteland in the far north. It's just a neat premise to me, and it's very pretty with some nice artwork. This is not the final artwork they're showing. They keep updating it. So, but it still even looks good now. So. I'm quite excited for it. But yeah, that is The Pale Beyond.
Nice.
Okay. Happy Kitty, what's your next one?
So my next one is kind of a reimagined / redo of a 2013 game that a lot of people kind of overlooked and then went back and went, wow, this is really great. I'm talking about the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. So it expands on the Stanley Parable. You get to play some of the older levels and experience what you had back in 2013, but they added more to it, which is kind of crazy. It's like I got the good ending. I got the good ending. So I'm kind of interested to see what they've changed. And I'm interested to see how beyond it goes. It's really one of those that if you haven't played it, it's an experience. So I'm looking forward to a similar, if not better, experience than I had with the Stanley Parable. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, it promises to be even more fun.
I played the Stanley Parable and I absolutely loved it, and yeah, I can't wait for this one to come out. I'll definitely nab it.
I might jeopardize my indie gamer card a little bit, but I've never played the Stanley Parable, so
you should.
I should probably check that out. I wonder if this Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe still is going to include the same story. I might just play that, but maybe I should play the original first. Yeah, I've never played the Stanley Parable, but I've heard about it. I've seen memes about it, so I should probably jump in before this comes out. Looks really cool. All right, Rhodey, what about you? Number 4.
Oh, so I had to put this on my list. It's the another detective game, Frog Detective 3.
Oh, there's a third one.
There's a third one coming out. Yes. Oh my god. I picked up the first one just as, I was looking for something very quick to pick up and play. And I absolutely fell in love. It's just, it's got this nice, sort of like smooth jazz, this sort of like ridiculous premise that's going on, and just hilarious, like, misunderstandings and a little like weird mystery going on in these games. So I'm hoping the third iteration it's even bigger or longer than like the first two games. It looks like the same sort of thing that I loved about the first two, but maybe it's a bit of a bigger game. I'm hoping. We'll see. But yeah, I would recommend anyone who wants a funny short game to play these first two games, because they're just wonderful, and they don't take themselves too seriously.
Yep. Yeah, and they're really not they're not at all expensive either. Actually, I own the Frog Detective 1 and 2. I need to play them. They're in my backlog. But
Definitely tell me when you play them because they're just so delightful and like wholesome as well.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, this it's cool that this is a series that just kind of keeps coming back, and that's awesome to see.
Oh, this will be the final one, they said.
Oh, the final one. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So let's
which is a bit upsetting, but you
Yeah.
know, all
Well-
good things must come to an end.
they'll probably do something different that still kind of scratches similar itches, hopefully. All right. My fourth choice is A Space for the Unbound. This game has a lot of things that I'm really into. It's pixel art, one. It's kind of has this slice of life storyline, and it's set in the 90s in rural Indonesia. I lived with an Indonesian family for like 6 years. So it's always been that kind of place that, it's a country with 200 million people and very few Americans know anything about it. And it's just like this whole other world. And ever since then, I've always been very interested to check out anything Indonesian, movies, games, because it's just a completely unknown world to me. And this one, it has kind of it's a supernatural story and mixed with slice of life, and sort of has that kind of, anime romance kind of feel, I guess. So kind of fluffy anime romance kind of thing. So I'm actually really looking forward to checking this one out. So it looks great. But yeah, Space for the Unbound. On to Happy Kitty. Oh, Justin. Happy Kitty, what is your number 3?
So number 3 is Have a Nice Death. This is a 2D action roguelike that reminds me a lot of what's the one that you play as the bugs, which is also getting a sequel soon.
Are you talking about a bug? No. What is that? No. It's on my wish list. The bugs.
Yeah.
All right.
Think.
Gonna consult my wish list. Let me see. Bug Fable?
No.
Okay, never mind. I have no idea what you're talking about then. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Now that you've seen it, you probably know.
Hollow Knight.
Yes, Hollow Knight. Yes, I don't know why I couldn't think of that, but yeah.
Wow.
No, this one reminds me a lot of Hollow Knight, except you play as Death.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were both having a senior moment there. Sorry about that, guys.
A little bit.
It's what happens when you get into the 30s. Just your brain just goes. Oh man, yeah, I can see how that would be. This one, it looks so pretty. I love the kind of like corporate comedy that's going through.
Oh yeah, no, that's a huge plus for me, and it promises to be satirical, and it looks amazing, and you get to upgrade yourself. You get to choose how you upgrade yourself, which means that there's probably multiple playthroughs with different playthrough styles that you can play with. So this is my number 3, and it's on the wish list.
Nice.
Oh, and I've been looking, as folks in chat have been sharing. So Godless Weebs was Elden Ring, Nerve, and a Signalis, Persia, and Final Fantasy XVI, of course. Please, Square, yes. And Shinshimax, Chained Echoes, Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, Jack Move, There Is No Light, and 8-Bit Adventures. Those are all great games. Yeah. All right. So, Rhodey, what is your number 3?
Oh, so my number 3 was a bit difficult to what I was going to pick because the Haunted Chocolatier, that's going to be released eventually, but I don't think it's going to be out next year. Maybe not. Also, Witchbrook, that's another one that but again, don't know if it's going to be released next year. Don't know how far along in development that is. But I know that one that is going to be released next year is Bear and Breakfast.
Oh, this one.
Yes. It's just, that's kind of like almost like a farming thing, but maybe it isn't. But it's got that nice relaxed feel about it, and you just like you're a bear and you're running a B&B, and it's just, and there's this great nice little story that goes along with it. But yeah, it's just cute and just little things that I just like really like in games. And look at that bear, and
he's so fluffy.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, it's like it seems like really interesting. There's weird things going on, and yeah, I want to definitely play through this and to see what the story is all about and everything. So yeah, hopefully that will be released next year.
And you can put him in hats. You can put hats on him.
Richbrook.
That's good. Awesome. This looks so cute. All right, so my third is a tactics game called Arcadian Atlas. So, for some reason, I've never played Final Fantasy Tactics, but I'm really into games that are inspired by Final Fantasy Tactics. I'll get around to it someday, I promise. But just so many like grid-based games that I've just fallen in love with. And this one, Arcadian Atlas, is like it's set in kind of a grim fantasy setting that's a bit more grounded. There's clearly some magic going on, but it's just a bit more grounded. It's a bit kind of less bright and cheerful looking, and I'm quite interested in checking this one out. It just looks, I love tactical. I've decided I like tactical RPGs, and this one has had so much work put into it over many, many years. I'm hoping that it all pays off. Also, it looks like you can play as a raccoon. Can you? Is this going to be another? Yep, you can play you can have a raccoon character. All right, I'm sold. I'm sold even more. All right, so Arcadian Atlas is my third. Okay, with your runner-up, Happy Kitty, what's your runner-up for 2022 most anticipated?
So my runner-up is a game called Copycat. This is by two-person dev team. Kostela Lakov and Sam Cable. This one, it's so cute, and you play as a cat. It's right up my right up my alley. Apparently, you play as a cat who is living a great life until you're not. When it seems that somebody is plotting to take your comfy little home away from you. So, yeah, this, I think it's going to be cute. It's probably going to be a little funny, and it's probably going to have the feels, because this looks like one of those games where you go, oh, no, wow.
Oh, it looks like another cat replaces you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting story.
Yep.
Because, I'm sure folks have had that, there's kind of that meme on TikTok and other places, and it's been on YouTube for a while, where it's like, wait a second, so my cat's here, then who's that? Like, there's this other cat that looks exactly the same that they thought was theirs. That is an interesting idea, because that's definitely happened with me, where we've had cats that seem to be not necessarily the same time, but like a reincarnation of a past cat. Is like, this cat is exactly the same. Is it the same? It can't be. So that's a neat idea. That's so cool. Clearly develop a cat owners. That is such a clever idea.
Has to be.
I am kind of wondering if it's going to be a little of a horror game, though, but I guess not. It could easily be a horror game. You're getting replaced? Oh, that's creepy. All right. It's cool. Okay, Rhodey, what is your runner-up for 2022?
Now, I wish this kind of wasn't on my list. I wish this was already out. Like they said, they would have it out. and it's probably one that appeared on last year's list as well. This is, of course, Miniko's Night Market. So it wasn't last year, but the year before that it was supposed to come out in 2019 on it was one of the platforms. It was going to come out on the Switch, and there was all big like trailer for it and everything like that. And then I think they just got overwhelmed with stress and everything, and they just couldn't finish it. But they said they would be working on it, but in their own time, which is, fair enough. So it's like, oh, maybe it'll come out at the end of 2020. They said like 2020, because it's like it was like nearly done. They just needed to like finish a few bits, but then it's like, no, it didn't come out last year. it didn't come out in 2020. Didn't come out 2021. So I'm hoping that 2022 it will eventually be out. They did update the release date to 2022, so who knows, it might come out this like next year.
Just breathe in the copium, it's going to come out in 2022.
It's about you're running a night market, you're finding ingredients and like selling stuff, and of course growing cats as well. You grow little cats as well. It's so cute. Such a cute game.
Oh my word! But yeah, hopefully it will come out, and when it does, it's going to be all worth the wait. So I really hope so.
I'll just tell you, just gonna say it's out, Dewey. It's out.
It's out. Yes. Okay. My runner-up is Chained Echoes. Once again, Pixel game, fantasy setting, turn-based. I'm pretty easy to read, but this one, it just has this really captivating fantasy world that's just clearly like these people have consumed far too much Final Fantasy, and that's a great thing, because I really want to check it out. This is This is being developed by Matthias Linda, and of course it lives and dies in the story, but the art and the setting just seems so beautiful. And Steam kind of lets you go, like, when Final Fantasy's taking forever to come out, there's so many other games that fill that niche, especially for folks missing the turn-based Final Fantasies. Like, there's plenty of other games with that. Remember, Final Fantasy's a different story anytime anyway, right? There's plenty of other games that'll fill that niche. So
it looks fantastic. The pixel art looks fantastic, and it's probably one I'll add to my wish list for sure. Looks amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I really hope to play this game someday. It looks so cool. So with that's my runner-up. On to our number one most anticipated game. Drum roll. Happy Kitty.
So my number one is a game called Astaria, the six-sided oracles.
Astaria. Nope.
This is a dice deck building roguelike.
How's it spelled?
It almost has that Darkest Dungeon, but a bit more color involved, which is really, really nice.
Kitty, how is it spelled?
Astrea.
E-R. Wait. A-S-T...
Astrea.
Oh, okay. Astria. All right. I was like, what? Where is it? I can't find it. There we go. Okay, I found it.
Yeah, it's a dice deck builder.
Ooh.
Yeah, this looks really cool. I will be interested in Darkest Dungeon 2. That's in my top 10, but this actually is like my number 6, and it was beat out by Sonic because, again, I'm a huge Sonic fan. But yeah, no, I haven't had a really good dice game other than Dicey Dungeons. And this kind of combined two of my favorite. You get to play with dice and cards, so it's like it appealed to me. It did. It really did. It's and this is not cutesy cute, but it's got its own cute element to it with the art style. And it promises to be a really good game, and I'm excited to see this because I play Slay the Spire, Monster Train, Dicey Dungeons, and this is like all of those combined. So
Yeah, well, I didn't know about this game, so it's going on my wish list. So, because that kind of ticks a lot of my boxes. Yeah. All right.
all the things, yes.
Yeah. All right, Rhodey, your number one. Roll, drum roll.
So my number one is The Drifter.
The Drift. Ooh, interesting. Oh, okay, I remember this one. All right.
Yeah, the demo was out. I don't think you can. No, you can't really play the demo right now. But if they do another demo festival and this is out, definitely give this a go. It is you're on your way home to visit your sister. You just jump on one of the train carts, and then shit goes to hell basically, and you see someone get shot, and then you've got to figure out how to escape these people and like try to get to your family, get to your sister. And it's really fantastic point and click game. It's instead of like when you go to interact with something, instead of like they go, I can't, there's nothing interesting in there, or like they're talking directly to you. What they'll do is they'll read things out as if you were reading it in a book. So it's like, I go over to the trash can to see if there's anything of usefulness in there, but I could already see somebody pilfered there before me, or something like that. It have this whole dialogue, and it's like, oh wow, it's really, really interesting, and really adds like sort of like flavor to the whole game. It's really, really well done. I highly recommend it. If you give it a go, give the demo a go if you see it on a demo festival. But yeah, highly anticipated.
Yeah, the Drifter looks fantastic. Just really grim point and click, but yeah, it's such a cool setting too. Awesome.
Yeah, at the end of the demo where it cuts it off on the sort of like cliffhanger, because you find some interesting thing out, and it's just like, I need to play this now.
Looks like it's Los Angeles, present day.
It's set in Australia, actually.
Oh, Australia. Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. Alrighty. Well, on to, I guess, drum roll, my game of the year, or game of 2022 that I'm really looking forward to is Sea of Stars. Aesthetically, this one kind of has an up-resed, Shining Force kind of feel to me. Even though the gameplay is not quite Shining Force, it's just kind of turn-based combat a la Final Fantasy XIV, or not Final Fantasy IV or something. But it's so beautiful. There's fishing. There's just this really beautiful, interesting world. And I find that two characters really neat, because you basically have one moon and one sun character, and there's this kind of day-night theme going on between the two. And I believe it's a situation where, like, at night one is empowered and during the day the other is empowered. But it's all this. I really want to play this. It's a beautiful game. Seems to have a beautiful setting, and just a really grandiose world to explore and a good story to tell. It's by Sabotage Studio. So yeah, I want to play it. And the villain is called the Fleshmancer, which is terribly disturbing. But yeah, I want to play Sea of Stars probably the most. I really hope it hits the 2022. For some reason, I remember this being a different year release plan, so I think it's gotten delayed a few times. But no big deal. I've got plenty of other games to play, so I generally don't mind when a game gets delayed. It hurts, but I got other games to play. So CO stars. Alrighty, and of course, folks, let us know what your top 5 is. I hadn't heard of Sea of Stars before now. Your top 5 has changed. I'm glad to have provided that service. It looks awesome. So yeah, just pay attention. After playing both Fey Tactics and Felseal Arbiter's Mark, I'm really into JRPGs. And both of those were Western developed, but this is also Western developed, but just the JRPG aesthetic and the gameplay. Oh, I'm in. Okay, so before we all say our plugs and say goodbye, let's just go ahead and do our best of the week. Starting with Happy Kitty, what game really stood out to you the most this week? Oh, and I've got to do the best of the week. The teddy bear. There we go.
The very best.
The very best.
So, my top tier was definitely There Will Be No Turkey for Christmas.
Yes.
That was a really good find, Rhodey. I'm glad you found it last minute. It's cute. It's kind of hard to believe it's short with 30 levels. So yeah, I am probably going to pick this up at some point and play through it, and it just looks absolutely entertaining, and at $2 it's practically a steal. So yeah, that is my top pick.
Yeah, that's an easy pick. It's just looks fantastic. It's definitely on my wish list, so I want to play it someday. And I don't like stealth, but this one looks kind of a nice mix of stealth and puzzle. All right, Rhodey, what about you? What is your game of the week?
Now, I put 3 things on my wish list this week. So there's definitely a few things that piqued my interest. So Alfred Hitchcock Vertigo, that that looks interesting. Although I'm going to wait for a sale for that one, because it's I know the studio. I know they do some really good work and stuff. So I do like their point and click games. Another one that I put on was the Karma City Police. Just the fact that it's just a police game. You take bad guys out. You pinball mechanics. It's just this crazy, and it's it's cheap as well. It's £6.96 currently because it's 25% off. But mainly my top one is One Hand Clapping, because it's a very, very nice looking a 2D platformer, but there's not so much of an emphasis on platforming, but you've got this mechanic of singing or humming to get across the maps. This is pretty good. I'd love to see Rady play this. Rady does stealth with a shotgun in her hands. Oh yeah, the turkey game.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Remember, you don't need stealth when you have intimidation.
Yes.
Both excellent choices. I've actually got a pretty difficult choice to make here, because it's okay, y'all kind of went ahead and just made all my choices, but I think I have to agree that Karma City Police just stands above the rest, with probably my second choice being One Hand Clapping. But yeah, Karma City Police is just such a wild mix of ideas, and I think that's super, super cool. With, of course, special mention to Milk Outside of a Bag of Milk, Outside of a Bag of Milk, which is apparently fantastic, and I'm completely missing out because it's got a 98% positive rating. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mine is the milk game. Yeah, and I think it is for a lot of people, and I don't understand, but I want to understand. And maybe I'll play it and I will not understand. Kind of like Serial Experiments Lane. Great anime, by the way. I still don't fully get it, but I loved it. So, all the same. All right. With that, shameless plugging. Happy Kitty, go ahead and let us know where the internet can find you, what you're up to, and yeah.
Well, you can find me over at twitch.tv/happy_kitty, where I am currently immersed in Final Fantasy XIV with a new expansion just released and a new patch to that expansion coming out.
Real soon.
I plan on delving day one into the new raids. It's going to be a lot of fun. That drops Tuesday, so head over, check it out if you want some pointers, or if you just want to see a bunch of people fail, or, you know, maybe not fail their first run through.
Oh, you're going to fail your first run through.
I usually do other indie games, but right now I'm pretty heavily involved in this, so something to look forward to. Come join me.
Yep. Rhodey, what about you?
So, yeah, you can find me at twitch.tv/RhodeyPie. I play a lot of FMV games, a lot of narrative games, so I probably will be playing Mysteries of Ranko Tagawa maybe next week. So, and maybe we'll play either Erica or The List as well. So there's 2 games that I want to play on stream. And, of course, don't forget, most of the games that we speak about on the podcast, you can find on the curator page. And if you sign up to the curator page, you might have a suggestion of a game that either we've recommended or we've spoken about. Do sign up, do check it out. And of course, if you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe.
Yep, absolutely. Give us, let us know your interest. And with that, it is now, you can find me at twitch.tv/deweybear, but I do have an announcement to make. This is not only the final podcast of the year, but it is the final episode of the podcast, at least for the long term. For good reasons. Professionally, I'm getting some new responsibilities, and I'm going to be doing some travel involved with those responsibilities, and it's going to be a really cool thing, but I'm not going to have like a time where I'm like, I know every week or every other week or every month I'm going to have this day available kind of thing. I won't have that anymore. It's been a fantastic journey with everyone here, and I'm really glad that I've been able to make some of your lives better with some cool games that you might have otherwise missed, particularly, oh man, there's so many folks. Ravenquick, Godless Weeb, Shinji Max, just all of y'all, Justin. I'm really glad that we've been able to send you games, but yeah, just for professional reasons, yeah, Rip, it's been great. It has, but for professional reasons, like life changes, and this is this is what I guess being in your 30s is, and having been in an industry for 8 years, responsibility comes around. So, but I'll still be gaming. I will still be writing updating the curator page whenever I have a chance to. I'm still going to be looking through the releases and probably going like, oh, hey, you should check this out. Because I'm still very much into indie games, but just being able to do a regular stream. Unfortunately, my weekends are probably going to be spent in airport lobbies. So that's going to be a lot of my weekends now, but thank you. I would like to do some random streams at times. Absolutely. We will just see how that happens. So, but first of all, I want to thank RhodeyPie. She's kept this thing going with me since the beginning, or maybe almost the beginning. I think Justin was there for the first episode.
Yeah, Justin was there for the pilot episode, and he did a fantastic job. Absolutely.
And Rhodey's been there encouraging me and like really helping with a lot of stuff on the back end. And it's been 108 is the Buddhist number. At least that is right. That is a particularly special number. But yeah, I know. I'm sorry, everyone. I feel so sad. I do think I want to. I forgot to prepare this, but I will be posting some links probably on both the Twitch and on the YouTube page to other folks that do really good wrap-ups for the week as well. They don't catch all the games we would normally talk about, but they do catch most of them. So I do want to make sure you guys aren't left completely in the dark about what games are coming out. But yeah, that's the end of a series, but I'm really glad to have done this with you guys. It's one of the I never thought like 5 years ago, and was it 5 years ago? But sometime before we started this, I'm not entirely sure what year we started. It was I never would have thought of Bennett being a content creator, and it's been just a really cool and interesting experience, and I think I'm going to take this knowledge and experience with me into the future. So I'm really happy for that. So
thank you for having us each week, and of course all the guests that we've had on have always been like really wonderful, and
the Radio guys, Tom, of course.
Absolutely.
Popgun Money.
Yes.
Happy Kitty.
Yeah, and if you ever get a little bit of sad that we're gone, you can always check the backlog of YouTube videos as well. So don't worry, I'll still be doing streams and talking about the indie games that I get excited for, especially FMV games that I will be failing epically at.
Yes, getting all the bad endings.
Absolutely.
But this isn't a bad ending in life, but it's a new chapter. So
yeah.
So with that, after we close this episode for YouTube, we'll be doing the drawing. Of course, it'll be the final drawing. But thank you everyone for coming by. Farewell, Auf Wiedersehen.
Farewell, YouTuber.
Bye.
Everybody, thank you again. Bye.
And cut. Oh, my heart. Oh my gosh, I didn't think it would be this hard. I hate goodbyes. My word.
Well, don't think of it as a goodbye. Think of it as until I see you again, because you did say that you would be streaming and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm still going to exist.
Like you're going away forever.
I'm still going to exist, but it's not going to be as regular as. But yeah. Ugh. I do kind of want. Well, we'll see. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to promise anything. But oh man, it's been such an adventure.
Yeah. If you ever wanted to do like I'm gonna be free that month, I would like to do a show. You can always contact me or something.
Go do like the best games of the month kind of thing. Yeah, that would be fun.
It has been an honor doing this with you guys. Thank you so much for the invites. And yeah, it, like she said, if you ever want to just do a show once in a while and you need a third, by all means, I am open.
Yeah. Absolutely, we will. You'll be on the short list. Absolutely.
Oh, you know what I didn't say? I didn't say my how many I completed this year.
Oh, that's right. Okay, one moment. So while I set up for the giveaway, go ahead and let us know what you completed this year.
Right. So, 2019, I completed 40 games. 2020, I completed 53 games. This year, I did a whopping 58 games completed, start to finish. So I'm quite proud of that number, and just hope you would think that the games are just whittling down, but no, loads of people got me games this year, so I don't know. I tried to play as many of the newer games that I got as possible and tried to finish them, but it is an ongoing struggle, which I will gladly gladly wade through. So that is, I'm hoping any games that I started this year, I will definitely finish into the next year. There are now 10 games that I started that I hadn't finished, so that is on the to-do list for the first part of this year. Oh, sorry, the next coming year.
Wow, so you didn't really make any progress as far as like numerically of like getting the backlog then?
Oh my god! I got a few. The thing is, I did finish quite a few games that were on my list from way back, like from a few years ago, that were in my library. So it's like, oh well, at least I got all those games like done, and I got my my hidden object games. They're all done. They're all that are in my library. So that was 128 games. They're all completed now. So yeah, but I really, really, really need to make a dent on my point and click games and my adventure games, because let's see, I have 235 point and click games and 96 adventure games. So there probably some overlap on those games. But yeah, that's quite a lot. I really, really need to get those done.
God, this was like, I've probably found almost triple digits into wish list. Yeah, I think that was mine. My wish list before doing the podcast was maybe 20 games, and now it's well over 200. And I've been buying games off that wish list this entire time too. So my word.
He's like, I haven't beaten 58 games in the last 10 years.
Yeah. You know what? 5 games a year, that's a pretty good clip. That's if you're playing especially larger games, but wow. So yeah, just Rhodey's game playing machine.